You're what? I'm sorry?
Mexican American.
Right.
Mexican heritage. I was one of the original Minutemen on the border in April 2005. Proud to serve that country. And I just want to thank you for all you've done, because I know that the job has been since then is to educate the people. I know that today that Illinois, the people of Illinois are spending $3.5 billion a year for services to illegal aliens. Well, what's alarming me is still two years later, is that a lot of Americans want to complain and want, and they don't want to get harmed. And so again, I thank you for what you just said.
And thank you for being a volunteer. Volunteerism, by the way, is one of the great traditions in this country. Whether it be the Coast Guard Auxiliary, the Minutemen performed a very valuable service in bringing attention to the desperate situation along our border. I think it's terrific that you did that. I think it is also interesting that there have been so many efforts to discredit and malign the Minutemen, against whom there has not been a single validated charge of violence. And of course, by the way, the Minutemen were called by this president, a president of the United States, vigilantes. One of the most unconscionable charges by an unconscionable president, I would say, for his failure to secure these borders and these ports after declaring a war on terror. So, thank you. And I have to say, you use the expression you don't hear much. You said you are Mexican American. My God, what happened to Latino and Hispanic? You see, my children are also Hispanic. And the fact of the matter is, no one is even asking the question. Is Hispanic a race? No, it's not a race. And when you hear the open borders amnesty crowd start talking about racism, as I heard today from Josh and White from the Immigration Coalition in your fair city. Well, the reality is, if you want to talk about racism, why are these socio-ethnocentric organizations the one supporting these open borders and amnesty? And who among us is the most racist in viewpoint and outlook? And why don't we ask ourselves this? 12 to 20 million illegal aliens in this country. You know, in 1965, we reformed immigration law in this country. We didn't do a very good job of it, but the reason was noble: to stop national origin quotas in our immigration policy, and to become absolutely race neutral as befits this great nation. Does anybody inquire why, for example, we have not seen 12 to 20 million Indonesians brought into this country, rather than primarily 60% of the illegal aliens are Mexican nationals? Why haven't we brought in 12 to 20 million immigrants from Africa? And why are we permitting the government of Mexico to determine U.S. immigration policy? And why is this administration and this Congress and its leadership insisting upon amnesty and open borders? And we've got to begin asking these questions and demanding answers from these 17 people seeking the nomination of the political party for the president. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Who do you think American is?
Who do I think an American is? Any man or woman born in this country or naturalized as a citizen. Correct. I'm sorry?
African American or just American?
I say just American. One of the things I like to, I'm one of these fellas, let's just talk about race for a minute, because I think we need to start talking about it.
You're wrong. Hispanics are not white. They're similar, but they're not white. Get off the lot. They're not the same as white.
I'm sorry?
They're not the same as white.
Please come on. Please come
They're
on.
similar.
Please come on.
This is the lie.
Please.
They're similar, but they're not the same as white.
I'm sorry?
They're not white. They're similar, but they're not white. Get off this line. They're not white. They're similar, but they're not the same as us. They're similar, but they're not the same. They're not the same. Get off the line.
Dude, what's your...
Get off the line. They're not the same.
I want you to know, I appreciate your restraint, and I thank you for it. And I think we just have to simply accept the reality of what we have to contend with. We're going to contend with the facts and the reality. You've had your say. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I appreciate it. My answer is straightforward. I can't imagine doing it. I would be the absolute candidate of last resort. I do believe we're going to see an independent populist candidate emerge because there is a great deal of enthusiasm, as I've been saying, across this country. As we travel around the country, we're not seeing enthusiasm for even the front runners in candidates, among the candidates of both political parties. I think we're going to see it emerge. Yes, sir. Amen.
You're entitled to your own opinion, but not to your own facts. The reality is, if they come over here knowingly breaking the law and get rewarded with free healthcare, education, everything, what does that make the people that waited 7 years or people that were born and raised here? Get our better. It's crazy. Let's stick to the facts. The facts is, if I go to Mexico and break the law, they're going to lock me up. I'm an American. If I break the law here, they're going to knock me up. That's the consequence for breaking the law. Let's stick to the facts.
Yeah, the idea that this country is now even having a discussion about the consequences of breaking our laws, whether at the border or document fraud that leads to the unlawful employment of illegal aliens, is amazing. But it should demonstrate clearly to everyone. And by the way, in terms of the illegal aliens in this country, they are probably the only rational actors in this entire disaster. They are fleeing a corrupt, in the case of Mexico, and more than 60% of the illegal aliens are, they are fleeing a corrupt and incompetent government that they have been saddled with for decades. Just about half of Mexico lives in poverty. One can completely understand their motivation, and their reaction is rational. What is not rational is the response of the United States government to leave those borders open, to not control immigration, and to allow corporate America, special interests, and the Mexican government to dictate immigration policy and the consequences with which American citizens must live. Now, I want to tell you, illegal aliens, I have worked with illegal aliens as a young man in point of fact, in the fields of Idaho, picking beans, potatoes, and I have the greatest respect for the work ethic of most people working in those fields and as illegal aliens in this country. But that respect does not translate to simple application of the rule of law, nor does it mean that we abdicate to the socio-ethnocentric special interest groups that would tear asunder a nation of laws. If we were a nation of laws, contemporaneously with a nation of immigrants.
Mr. Dobbs said that I'm also Vietnam veteran. I disagree with him.
Let's go for it. I think the gentleman and I can say this. We'll defend your right to disagree with us to the death.
The thing is that I used to work when I was a graduate.
Sure.
Working with immigrants in the TESOL program and speaking English as a second language.
Sure.
These people were very hard working. They worked in very bad conditions.
Didn't he just say that?
Nearly every case.
But they were hard workers.
Your points are right. We'll stipulate. You're just supporting what I just said.
The thing is, you shouldn't generalize treatment. And I agree with you on many issues, but the immigration issue is a little complex. And
Well, I disagree with you. It's very straightforward. This country is not in control of its immigration policy. It's not in control of its borders or its ports and constitution. Straightforward.
There are people of Irish, Polish, who work in places
you should love the world, we're going to all agree with you because we love the world.
Well, the reason the giving system is not working here is because it's throughout your